Hey everybody, it's Anna and welcome back to my booktube channel. Today I'm going to be doing the Christmas Carol book tag in honor of the holiday upcoming. This tag was actually created by Lauren Wade. I will go ahead and link her channel down below if you'd like to learn more about her and what she does, and I just thought that it would be a really fun kind of seasonal thing to do. So let's go ahead. Question 1 is The Ghost of Christmas Past, a book that was a childhood favorite. Okie doke. For that, I have an actual children's classic, The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. This is a book that I adored as a child, I continue to adore as an adult, despite all of its many problems, not the least of which is the rampant British colonialism and also the idea that fresh air can cure your illness. Anybody that's ever been told to try yoga for chronic illness will probably bristle at that a little bit, as I often do, but I still really enjoy this book because at its heart it is just a story about a lonely young girl becoming more open to the world and beginning to make friends and find out what her actual place in the world is. And I just love it for that reason. It takes me to a cozy place whenever I read it. Question 2, The Ghost of Christmas Present, a recent book that you think will become one of your all-time favorites. I'm going to say that it is one of my all-time favorites already, tentatively, but that would be Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. This is obviously all over BookTube and all over my channel, particularly because Leigh Bardugo is one of my very favorite authors. But the way that this book really handled the questions of people that are survivors of violence and sexual violence specifically, I think did it in a way that really resonated with me in a way that not that many others do. So there's that. Also, it's magical. If you couldn't tell by the Christmas witch hat, obviously I'm very into that. Okay, book 3, The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, a book coming out next year that you're most excited about. I'm going to look up the title real quick, but it is the sequel novel to The Hazel Wood by Melissa Albert. I need to find out what is the second book. It's called The Night Country by Melissa Albert, and it's going to come out on January 7th, 2020, so this is a reminder to me to set my pre-order so that I can actually get it day of release. That would be awesome. Number 4 is Bah Humbug, a book that everyone else loves that you just can't stand. This is also kind of an unpopular BookTube opinion because for me that book is The Night Circus. I wouldn't say that I couldn't stand it, I just really couldn't get into it and unfortunately didn't find myself really wanting to read it or learn anything more about the characters, and that was kind of a shame, but I tried not to lose too much sleep over that. Question number 5, Bob Cratchit, an old dependable that you always recommend. I don't know about this being old, but the book that I think I have probably recommended the most in the past year or so is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. This is the book that got me started being interested in reading adult romance novels. I'm actually making a series on my channel now about reading romance because of this book. Do yourself a favor and read it. It's super fun and awesome. Okay, question 6, Tiny Tim, an underhyped book that you think deserves more love. For this, you probably saw this if you watched any of my Queerlit Readathon recommendations, but I'm going to go with That Inevitable Victorian Thing by E.K. Johnston. This is a queer YA book about an alternate world where the British Empire decided instead of bloodthirsty imperialism around the world, it was going to try and get its consolidate its worldly power through marriage alliances, and there is this AI that can look at the genetics of every single person and figure out who your ideal match is, and it's a lot about what happens when human love and attachments and queer sexualities come up against this algorithm of sorts, and I really loved it. This is a very quiet novel. It's not super big and splashy, but I really adored the story, and it's also one of the only instances of polyamory in a YA book that I've seen that I liked. So there's that. Okay. Question 7. Today, why it's Christmas Day. What's a book that always gets you in the mood for Christmas apart from A Christmas Carol? This is kind of a weird answer, and it actually also is going to answer the second question, which is The Muppet Christmas Carol, your favorite film adaptation of a book. That I can think of, at least, because it's Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, and my favorite adaptation is the one that has Felicity Jones playing Catherine that came out in the early 2010s. This is just my favorite Jane Austen book. It's a book that I tend to pick up for some reason around this time of year. I think because it's very cozy and it's very much an ode to people that love books and reading. And so just when the cold winter months are out, I like to read things that make me feel happy and cheerful. And so Northanger Abbey it is. So that is going to do it for the Christmas Carol book tag. I am going to go ahead and tag a couple people because the last question is to tag some people. So I tag Rogan, Kathy, Brody, Jesse, and Jean. For all of y'all watching this video, I will go ahead and make sure that I also tag you in my tweet so you know that you are tagged. If you like this video and you'd like to see more of what I do, please consider giving me a subscribe. Thank you all, as always, very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and happy holidays. Bye.